Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anton's solo session of Tombs of Scoria. How are you doing today, Anton?
I'm doing well today. Just hanging out. We probably weren't going to have a session today, but I, being the genius that I am, was able to figure it out.
Yeah. Right, so where we last left off is you guys had just come back from your necromancer raid, the trap that you guys willingly walked into and then walked right back out of. And I think that's where we left off. So Anton's downtime, Anton's solo session, I think is going to be happening in real time. So hopefully we won't eat through too much game time because we don't want to.
We don't want to go too far ahead.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Should be fine. So let's do it. Let me get some mood music. And what are you going to do today, Anton?
Anton was in the middle of doing his commune, and he had a few more questions that he was asking his god and getting the answers to. I think we left off, he did 4, and then he had 5 more. So I guess we'll jump right in there.
Spooky music going on in the background. Actually, you're communing with a deity. Maybe less spooky and more mystical.
I am communing with like the vengeance deity though.
Yeah.
But mystical
true.
works too, yeah.
Alright, let's get a combination of spooky and mystical then.
Just turn them both on, fuck it.
Sometimes I just do that, yeah.
Okay, so the first question he will ask, or I guess the 5th question, is resurrection possible under any circumstance?
You get an immediate answer from your deity saying no longer.
Okay. Is there anything you want us to time pull? He's kind of going for like a hint here to figure out, is there something like we're missing? Is there something you want us to know that we haven't seen?
Leonora comes back, a singular name which you immediately recognize to be your mother's lady's maid, the woman who has been with her for a very long time and helps her get dressed in the morning and put on her makeup and, tend to her things and fix her bed and yada, yada, yada.
Was she the one who got fired? There was one lady's maid who had been there for a long time that we let go and then handled due to the fact of she was willing to give information away for money.
Just use the same NPC twice.
I don't know if it is the same name. I'm just asking because I know that she was her handmaid for a long time.
Right. Looking for that information. I'm not seeing it.
I want to say she had a different name. So as long as it's not like the same plot where she's willing to like betray us for money, then I think it's fine. But if it is, then it might be the same person.
Here we go. That day, 2 servants were let go. Footman, Grindle, and the mother's oldest handmaid, Thera. Handmaid is paid off. You'll ask mother about this. Yes, so handmaid, lady's maid, close but different.
Cool.
Yes, so this is a different woman that works for your mother.
Awesome. Okay. The next question that I will ask will be, should me and my brothers make a pilgrimage to Heatstroke to visit you before we fight Scoria?
No.
Do you have any plans for me after the death of Scoria?
Far across the seas.
Is there someone sympathetic within the Matavan royal line? Basically what Anton is going for here is him and Imric have been talking about Matava is super kind of close to Mystria right now, giving him food and arms. So it's a meritocracy?
Matriarchy.
it's a matriarchy, and basically they have all of the men enslaved. So he just wants to know if there's someone they could put into power who would be, sympathetic to their cause.
No, comes the answer.
That was his last question. Anton gets up. He will go over to a basin of holy water, and he will cast his time pool. The first time pool that he will be casting will be... So there was 30 episodes ago, 40 episodes ago, a couple who had their child cursed by Ponos. And the only way to fix their child was to... I think we had to kill the lady who had cursed the child, was what Velthara had kind of said. So Anton went and put Velthara's wrath on her, or Velthara's vengeance, which basically kills her in D6 months. It was successful, and he wants to check in on that. So he says, show me the death of, I think he knew her name.
Right. You will catch the figure in a bed, coughing and hacking and wheezing, gasping for breath. Their family gathered round, doing their best to comfort them, a cool cloth on the forehead, people praying, asking Mother Martha for forgiveness, while the subject hacks and wheezes and draws their last raggedy final breath before sort of like choking on their own spittle from their lungs, clearly like sort of drowning or suffocating in fluids that they can't quite get out until they wither and die on the spot.
Anton is super pleased with that. He will spend the rest of the day nap himself, and he will do another time pool of the gnome who he also laid Velthara's vengeance on just a month and a half ago. He wants to see his death as well. Make sure like it's being done.
The gnome you can see dragging a foot down the street of the city. His right leg has somehow been damaged or mangled and is no longer supporting his weight, so he drags and hobbles down the street.
And he was I let everybody know what was going to happen to him. So I'm curious if people are looking at him as well through the time pool. If they know.
Yes, as he drags and hobbles himself down the street, there's a little, maybe a good 6 feet of space around him that you can see the crowds sort of move away from, eyes glance towards him, and then quickly and furiously glance away, like what is happening is something they don't want to be reminded of. He reaches out with a wooden cup, jingling around some coins. Gets no sympathy from the people nearby. Sits against a wall and sort of... in the time pool, things speed up a little bit, and you can see the long shadows cast by buildings sort of move across the street, and the gnome lays there in a little bit of a gutter. His little bowl out, his hobbled foot out at a weird angle, laying against the wall as the shadows move and the sun goes down, and that is it for him.
Anton will smile that his vengeance is complete and people knew. He takes this as a big win for Velthara. It was, I think, the first vengeance he's done that he told people about. And he sees it as good. He will say goodbye to his mother and his brothers, but before doing that, he will use the amulet on Justine. He is marking her for vengeance, and he needs to see where she is. Because if she's super close, it's going to be awkward.
She's not super close.
Okay, good.
She is in Grumpburn. It's a couple towns over. And moving.
It's a little awkward because I think he'd have his brothers and I think they just go after him. But I'm sure there's a reason that he doesn't.
Well, this is just the next day, so she can't be that far. And you've got her tracked. You can pop in on her at any given point. But also, how do you really get to Grumpern from here? Right? There's not a spot. If she's on the move, you can't just like scry on a spot well enough to then teleport to it, because she's always going to be slightly mobile. I don't know if you actually have a way of getting to Grumpern instantly.
Not instantly, no. But we would... well, if she's on the move, I'm guessing that we could probably catch her. My guess is what she's doing is she's probably going back to Mystria.
She's got a good 60-mile head start on you, 50-mile head start.
You know, she's probably out of range, so fuck it. Okay. Yeah, we'll gloss by that. We'll get her when the whole gang's here. Anton is gonna visit his clerics, I guess.
Yeah. Very quickly, when you visit your head cleric in Wicthron Marenta, when they catch you across the site of the temple, they hurry over on padded slippers. Give you a swift knee, like a kneel before you, before getting up and wrapping one arm through yours and hurrying you out of the temple. Father Anton, we have a problem, or a situation that needs your attention.
What is it, child?
As you have ordered, we are here to see Velthara's will done. Most of that is minor duties, tending to the church, tending to the people who come, giving advice, seeking help. Sometimes we must enact forms of vengeance, but one has come to my attention who I am underqualified to serve vengeance on, or even see if the subject is deserving of vengeance.
Do explain.
They look a little paranoid around the area and walk with you quietly for a little while outside of the temple, and then down the streets away until the temple is out of sight. And your cleric turns to you, meets your gaze, and says, "A couple has come to me, a mother and a father. They have prayed."
He doesn't mean clerics, right?
No, this is
just like
parents,
a real mother.
yeah. And have sat at the foot of the statue of our divine goddess, praying for vengeance upon someone in the castle.
Anton's interest is quite piqued. Before he responds, I just want everybody to know, Anton now is always permanently going to have conceal alignment on himself. It is a 24-hour spell that will conceal his alignment. He's going to cast this every single morning forever, and I'm burning a spell slot to do this every single day, so just heads up.
Okay.
And who is this man? What is his name? Or woman?
The one the parents seek vengeance upon is none other than Somber for the death of their child, her apprentice. This is beyond my abilities to judge or deal out vengeance. I know not what to do. I prayed that you would come and see me today, and here you are. Velthara has delivered you to me.
And nod. What exactly did her apprentice do?
He was slain by a skeleton, zombie, some form of undead, out in the woods just last night.
Okay, so I'm confused. Was their son the apprentice?
Their son was Somber's apprentice, yes.
And that was the apprentice that was like following us around.
Mm-hmm.
So she had sent him on like a job, and then he died.
You know, they All I know is that they say his death is her fault. That she dragged him away from the life he was supposed to lead into being her servant. And through her actions, he has died. And they wish to see her brought low. I don't know what an appropriate form of vengeance for this is. It seems to me that if Arxomber was not the one with the knife in hand, that death is hardly a fitting vengeance. On the other hand, deep manipulation, working against a parent's will, sending someone off to their death, these are crimes worthy of some level of vengeance.
Every man has his own choice. His parents don't choose his life. I don't think Arxombar honestly did any wrong here, it sounds like. I'll time pull it. I'll see what happened. However, it seems like the parents wanted him to live a life that he didn't want to live. And this isn't on her, is kind of the story that I'm gathering.
Your acolyte says nothing. Just listening to you, hoping to hear.
Listen to my wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she did anything wrong. She got this guy to be her apprentice. If anything, the worst part is that she lost him. Wizards put a lot of time into their apprentice, so it's probably really fucking annoying for her to lose someone like this. But I'll time pull it and make sure she didn't kill him. Yeah, I'll see what happened, I guess. What was their house name? I assume that they're nobles if he was supposed to live another life.
She bobs her head up and down. The Palmer family.
And do I know this is like
some minor noble family around town? You might have heard their name once or twice in passing, but
okay. I note that down. Anything else inside the capital?
Just this delicate issue.
I nod.
I feel if we are here to serve our goddess, that we should be doing her... I would hate for us to gather an image of servitude to the castle. Wouldn't want people thinking that Velthara's vengeance stopped where it was uncomfortable to proceed.
If Arxomber actually did anything wrong, I will handle her myself. However, from the story that I've gathered, it seems like we have parents who are sad that their noble-born son didn't follow the path that they had planned for him. I could be wrong, but that is what seems like it is. If anything, the person who he needs vengeance on is the necromancer who created the skeleton to kill him. I will time pull this and come back and figure it out more.
Of course.
I leave.
All right. You guys can depart and head your separate ways.
Okay. Anton will probably go home, sleep. He might go home and ask around. Is Leonora home? He'll ask the head guard, the old guy.
Yes, she is. Says the guard on duty. She's
Where's she
upstairs preparing the bedchamber presently.
I walk inside in my full dragon armor. Both spears. One of them tucked inside my amulet.
Mm-hmm.
And I will find the room that she's in.
Yeah, it takes a little while of searching the upper floors, but soon enough you find her in your mother's bedroom, preparing the bed, changing the sheets, dusting this and that.
I'll just lean on like the siding of like the door.
Yeah, she'll
just look at her,
catch your attention, and quickly give you a bow. Present herself at attention. Is there something you need from me, Lord Tyrael? Anton?
Anton will just stare.
Lord Anton?
Does she seem to? She probably does seem to be scared, right? I would
She's
assume.
a little nervous around Anton, the Vengeance Cleric and Dragon Slayer with the burned face and the dragon armor. Yeah.
This. I know.
You know what, my lord?
He just looks at her.
My lord? Is there something I can do for you? She takes a few steps closer towards you. A look of worry crossing her face.
Vilthara whispered your name to me specifically.
Oh my god. Whatever for?
I was hoping that you'd fess up to it.
I know not what the goddess of vengeance would have with me. I am but a humble and loyal lady's maid.
You'd have no problem if I cast a few spells on you then, yes?
I know very little about the ways of magic. I wish not to be turned into a newt, if that's what you're asking.
You will not be turned into a newt.
Perhaps, we should speak to, Lady McGarry. Shall I fetch her?
I think you should come with me.
She sets her broom against a wall, moves the dusting feathers onto a little table stand, tidies up the room just a little bit, and then steps in tow behind you.
Do we have like a dungeon, a cellar, somewhere to hold someone, a holding cell, like a holding room?
There is a cellar, yes, down below the main storeroom. It is designed to keep foods cold and whatnot.
How often is it visited by people?
Almost every day by the cook. In fact, I would say every day by the kitchen staff.
I will call over the younger, the guy we gave a +1 sword to, Bro Taco, I think.
Bartico. Yes.
Bartico. I'll call over Bartico. I assume he has his own room, right?
Yes.
I tell him that his job for the next few days is to watch her 24/7. She does not leave his sight while I sleep, and in the morning I will come and see her.
Want me to keep an eye on the lady's maid, huh?
And I want nobody to know about it.
He considers her, and she looks at you with abject terror.
Best.
Wouldn't be a problem if Lady Vala comes looking for her?
Just tell her she went out. I sent her off to buy some threads. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I saw some really good ones in Nome.
Sure.
Cool.
He considers the woman. You've brought her to his room, I assume.
Yeah.
The implication being to watch her in his room, yeah.
Yeah.
He leaves a hand on the hilt of his sword, gestures into the room to her, and her eyes dart between you and him.
As he walks in, I'll stop him for a second and whisper to him. If she tries to run, strike her down.
He gives you a look of concern and a head bob of agreement. Her voice kind of calls meekly from his room. Is there something I did wrong, Lord Anton? I think...
Anton will kind of laugh and say, we'll find that out tomorrow, won't we?
He nudges her gently in the room and shuts the door behind her. Right.
Anton ruffles his hair, but he doesn't have any. He's bald. And thinks to himself, really thought that would work. It seems like she doesn't actually know what happened. But maybe some memory reading spells and whatnot will be able to discern this. Velthara gave me her name for a reason. It's probably the best way to find it out.
Yeah. Well,
Anton sleeps.
Do you nap yourself, or do you full-fledged sleep?
He would full-fledged sleep. He doesn't have any more naps for the day.
Okay. So we're moving on to 2 days after the trap. The 21st of December. Excellent.
Yeah.
Today is the first day of winter, which means that today is winter solstice, one of the major holidays in the area. We don't have to go into any detail on it, but just so you know, it is this is the holiday dedicated to Velthara, goddess of death, because winter is... I'm sorry,
you mean Virasi?
No. Yes, Virasi. But I think I'm mistaken. I think it's Malchus's holiday, because he starts off spring, winter. Yeah, he's winter, she's autumn. Yeah. Where's my list of holidays? Holidays, here we go. December 20th is Jubilee. That was yesterday. We don't care about Jubilee. Winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. Family gatherings with a ritualized fire and hearth and prayers offered to Nerul, goddess of the hearth and home. Those who live their lives in suffering and who wish to end their lives can go to a temple where the priest will bless their death, helping them pass on. Although this is not an official part of the holiday, it is in vogue for people sentenced to death around this time to have their execution on this day. It is a major holiday for Virasi and Nerul. There we go. Winter solstice.
Are we having a bunch of executions then in the capital? Would this have been like well known or no?
You would know that today is the day where some people are just going to be... Some people that have been sentenced to death will have that sentence carried out today. It's just sort of in line with how things go.
Cool. Can you explain what the consequence spell does? I'll link it. Kind of read through it. How would this work? Is this like Idea, kind of, but a better version?
Take a look. Consequence. Priest to determine how one recent event fits into the grand scheme. By casting a spell, the priest can determine whether the sequence or situation that gave rise to the specific event is complete or whether it is ongoing. Whether it was a significant or insignificant event in the larger picture, or whether it will continue to have repercussions for the participants. Arcane message is normally straightforward and easy, but the case of probably truthful. As an example, consider a priest and his party who are on a holy quest to retrieve an item of power. On the way to the location of this item, the party is ambushed by evil creatures from the inner planes but manages to defeat them. Concerned these creatures might be outlying guards protecting the item of interest, the priest casts Consequence, hoping for guidance. The DM knows that these creatures have nothing to do with the quest. The encounter was coincidental. However, the surviving monsters will soon return with reinforcements to avenge their dead. Therefore, the DM tells the priest's player, to your goals, these have no place, but they still cause you more woe. Casting the spell taints the subsequent castings of the same spell within a 24-hour period. So yeah, that's sort of somewhere between commune and idea, I guess.
So if I want to know like the consequence of like the Wizard Apprentice's death and me not taking action because Anton actually feels like it was just a business thing and his parents are probably in the wrong. Would this give some insight towards that?
No, because there's not a grand scheme, right? We're looking for some sort of big picture. You might want to say like, is the apprentice's death part of Arc Somber's plan to kill us? In which case, then this could let you know whether or not that is part of Arc Somber's grand plan to kill you if such a thing exists.
Which wouldn't make sense. Yeah, for me at least to do that.
Right. But you could do is you could cast consequence on the trap that you had just triggered in the old abandoned mines. See if that was where that fit into the grand scheme.
Okay. I'm gonna take time pool because I don't have those platinum coins that are worth whatever yet. 3 special coins or dice made of platinum, worth 1,000 GP. How would that work? I just have to get it made.
Material component for 3 coins of dice made of platinum with the player tosses. And we're concentrating on the spell. Yeah, you could put it in order with a smith here in town. If you have some platinum on hand, then you could give them some platinum and they could work it. Essentially, you would be giving them 1,000 GP, and some of that would be platinum, and then they would use that money to shape the coins, and it would be a certain amount of quality of work is where most of it would go.
Cool. I'll have someone go take 1,000 GP of platinum, which is 500 platinum.
Yes.
To go have some special dice made.
Yeah. Just mark the platinum off.
I took it off the party sheet.
Great, and then by next session, they'll be done.
That's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take time pool. And we're gonna get to checking their mind.
Whose mind?
Anton will go to Leonora's room, or Bartico's room.
Bartico's room. Yeah. You can find Bartico in the room. He is awake. Leonora and he are sitting at one of the small tables there. There's a pack of cards between them, and it looks like there's a pile of copper coins on the table split between them as if they were playing some sort of game. You'll also notice that his sword is drawn and laying on the table next to him, and his dagger is stuck into the table as well. So he has 2 weapons at hand in case any shifty stuff goes down. But as you come to the door and open it, he'll throw a quick glance your way and get to his feet, sheath his sword, tuck the dagger away carefully.
Give him a nod. I'll walk in. I'll sit down. I will pull my lightning spear, Rahana's spear, out of my amulet, lay it on the table, and this morning when I woke up, I cast Conceal Alignment. But before I did that, I would cast No Alignment. I want to see Anton wants to know what he is. I think he knows.
Cast No Alignment on yourself. Oh my god,
That's right.
Can you even...
Because he's been messing around with the alignment stuff for a while. He's seen Arc Sambar's alignment. He's seen Tyrael's confusing alignment, and he's kind of trying to see, where he is in the whole thing.
Uh-huh. You are definitely a lawful character. You do believe in, or you do function in an ordered society and follow the not just the rule of law, but you work well together with others. You respect hierarchy. You engage in hierarchy quite well. So you're definitely on the lawful side.
Cool.
You are not expressly evil or self-serving. You don't go... How do I say? You will make choices that are not always in your best interest. You do not needlessly sacrifice other people for your own gain. But on the other hand, you also don't go that far out of your way to save other people. Like, you will realize there's a problem with the Nomish economy, and you can just make a bunch of money by depositing a whole bunch of things here. You're kind of happy to maybe overthrow the queen, maybe kill Arc Somber, but not for this reason. I'm not going to kill Arc Somber. So I think you fall in the realm of lawful neutral. an orderly person, not too self-serving, not too what's the other word? Not apathetic. What does it mean to help other people?
Empathetic?
Empathetic, but there's another one.
Altruistic?
Altruistic, that's the one. Not too altruistic, not too self-serving, somewhere in the middle of those. Lawful neutral.
He's pretty happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Conceal alignment, because fuck everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to know what he is. He'll also cast idea. I don't think I've ever cast this before. So he's kind of like, why would Velthara tell me to specifically talk to this lady? I did the Terrassa route. Something's up. Probably forgot something. Something might be missing. What do we got?
Oh. So, you might remind the player about an important clue the priest discovered, but the player did not consider significant. So, yeah. If Velthara is asking, if you ask what you should time pool, and Velthara has mentioned this woman, then there's something in her past, not her present, but something in her past which is significant to you. Something. I don't know if that's a good enough clue. Because I think you already know that, but that's definitely what you're getting at here. There's not something.
That's fine, though.
Now. There's something then.
Yeah, I think that's fine, because I think that'll let him do his detect lies, memory reading, mind read, and thought captures that can probably find something off that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's in the room. He asked her, will you submit to all my spells? None of them are going to turn you into a newt. None of them are going to kill you. None of them will cause you any physical harm. I just need your cooperation with this.
If it's for the good of the household and the good of the kingdom, then of course, she says, uncomfortable around you. Bartico leans over and whispers in your ear, she's been quiet all night, didn't try anything funny, I think she's pretty nervous. And then
I look at the card game. Did she beat you in cards?
He shakes his head. We played a bunch of things. No one really made any progress. Did you want me inside the room or stand and watch outside or what?
I give him a head nod to kind of fuck off.
Yeah, he leaves. Shuts the door behind him. And you can hear his boots walk a short distance away, but like not actually that far away.
I'll put, I don't know, a bag of platinum in his hand. And I whisper in his ear, don't tell Imric or Anton about this. Taking 50 platinum off the sheet.
Of course not, my lord.
Cool. I will use Detect Lie. 1 round per level.
Huh?
This right here, the spell that I just cast, it's going to tell me any lie that you tell me. I will know instantly. We can try it out here. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Lie or don't lie? Just tell me. Is she lying?
She's not lying.
She's not lying. Yeah, I'll tell her you're not lying. Try another one.
Pink. And she's definitely lying.
Obviously, you're lying about that one. Tell me something that, you know, I should believe. Or tell me something that I shouldn't believe. Try and catch me is kind of what I'm going at here.
My family's from Coxport, which is a lie.
I'll tell her that's a lie. I think you understand what's going on here.
She nods her head.
How long have you been my mother's handmaid?
Been the lady's maid for 20 years now?
Were you her handmaid before she stepped down?
No. These are all true.
Have you ever slighted our family? Sold us out?
Not knowingly.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had thoughts of hurting one of us? Deeply, gravely, not you're upset at my mother and you want to hit her in the head.
I mean, from time to time, anger comes to us all. You know that, Lord Anton. But I've never had real thoughts of harming anyone. Nothing evil or devious or something that I would truly wish to carry out when heads are cooled. Which is true.
Okay. Is there something that you are hiding from me? That you're afraid that I'm going to ask? Just kind of a weird question, but...
No. Which is true.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Do you know why Veltharis whispered your name in my ear specifically?
I do not. Comes the answer very quickly, which is true.
Okay. I'm going to cast Thought Capture. Gives me surface level thoughts, if I recall.
Yeah, the surface level thoughts that you're getting from her are very just like, oh my, what's happening? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I know that the other handmaid got removed. What's going on? Sort of confusion is generally the thought that you're getting.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Mind Read. These probably are all gonna require some reading because they're.
Yeah. Intelligence. A priest can read the thoughts of an animal who probably only received confused jumbles of emotions and instincts. Reading the mind of a highly intelligent wizard would be much more illuminating. Okay. Intelligent wary subject receive a saving throw at -2 penalty, but she is not wary. She is letting you cast these spells, so we don't need to do a saving throw. So you can read her mind, which is at this moment sort of blank fear.
Okay, let me read memory read if I need like a specific. Because I assume that she's had amnesia or something and can't remember something that's happened. And it's in her past. I'm just trying to think of how I get something out of someone's past they can't really remember with spells.
Yeah. Because if she can't remember it...
Yeah.
Then memory read isn't gonna tell you.
Correct. Anton will well, she wasn't in the castle, so she wouldn't know kind of what he's interested in about his mother and his father and their whole thing. Were you there the day my father died?
I was. Which is true.
Where were you?
She explains the position that she was in. She was in the middle of loading up a tray full of like small finger sandwiches and getting out some wine from the cellar. She was preparing to like bring some food upstairs when things went awry.
Have you ever experienced like memory loss? Like you ever just lost a day entirely? You ever woke up and just not know what happened that day?
No, my lord. That's never happened to me.
That's true?
That's true.
All right, stay with Bartico. I'm gonna go have a conversation.
Did I do well, my lord?
You didn't tell me any lies.
Isn't
I
that
still
good?
don't know what the issue is. It is good.
She seems satisfied with her doing and sits down with a long sigh of relief.
Give her a gentlemanly bow and tell her that she's probably gonna have to stay here a little bit longer. I gotta go talk to somebody, and then I'll be back.
Yep. And out you go.
Cool. I'm gonna go have a meeting with Ark Sambar.
Yeah. You can make your way to the castle. You can get an audience with Ark Somber. Unless it's important, it'll have to wait until like mid-afternoon since she is, as always, busy with things.
Anton is very full of himself, so he's just gonna kind of tell the guard, I know where I'm going. I've been here 1,000 times, Dragon Slayer and all. And he's just gonna go to Ark Sambar's keep. Just
Sure.
go in.
Yeah, you can go like give a rap on the door, and there's I told you. I'm sorry. I told you I am not to be disturbed.
Ark Sambar, it is Anton. I require a quick meeting with you, if that's fine.
You hear like a sigh of frustration and disgust. The sound of cloth moving, and then some scooting of wood legs of tables or chairs on the stone floor for a little bit. And then maybe 2 minutes later, the door opens. Ark Somber is a little bit flushed and sweaty. What is it?
They told me you weren't busy. I'm sorry. I apologize. I have a few questions. Well, as you know, clerics, we can commune with our gods. Not everybody's given this power, but I luckily am of that sort. So I came here to ask for your advice.
Oh? This is new.
May I come in?
Yeah, scoots open the door, waves you in. And you can see that there is a... sitting back in the corner is a new person in this room. Someone that you have not ever seen before. Is another young woman who's sitting in a chair. Her eyes are kind of
I'll point
wide.
at them and look at Ark Sambar. I also need to talk to you about that and see if I'm looking for fear or something like that.
Like a hold on one moment. Goes over to the person, whispers in her ear, and sends her up the tower. And you can hear the footsteps, and Ark Somber like holds up a hand and waits for the footsteps to count and count and count and count until there's finally like a clunk on another floor. And then she gives you the nod to go ahead.
My condolences to your apprentice. How did it happen?
He was instilled full of courage after hearing of your journey through the undead and wished to go see it for himself.
I thought we killed all of them on the way back. It seems we were wrong.
Undead can be easily scattered.
And none.
There's probably a half dozen so out there still wandering around, and will be for some time.
It's a shame. Her family or his family have been praying in the Temple of Valthara, asking for vengeance, but I see that not necessary here. The man picked his future. His parents just not happy with it.
She narrows her eyes at you. Vengeance upon whom?
They've been asking it on you. However, I see you did no wrong. If anything, Justina is the one that me and my brothers are going to be going after.
That seems most sensible. A parent's grief is likely to cloud their judgment and thoughts. Glad you're wise enough to see through such feeble emotions.
I will completely disarm myself, and I'll even take my armor off and say, I swear I'm not here for that. As I said, you did no wrong. I'm just here for a conversation about something entirely different. I just thought I should let you know that the what was their name? The Palmer family probably wanted you dead. I'd say, laughing.
see this as quite a laughing matter, but I appreciate your forthcoming nature on this subject.
The person who really killed their son will have vengeance enacted upon them.
What does bring you
now-
here, if not this topic, then?
As I was talking about earlier, I have communed with my deity. I've talked to Valthara directly. And one of the questions that I so sought the answer to was, is there something that you want us to time pool? She gave me one name, Leonora, which, as you might not know, is our mom's oldest handmaid. I currently have her, and I've been trying to question her and figure out what's going on. Because it's obviously something in her past, but my magic is limited. I was wondering if there's some way or some guidance that you can offer me to figure out exactly what needs to be seen that happened.
You really are here for just advice, she says, plopping down comfortably in a chair and brushing some of the sweat off her face.
A nod.
As I understand it, Time Pool allows you to see events in the past as they are? It's like a crystal ball, but for time.
Correct. And if you have any that you need seen, I do have a time pool available. So for your help, any... Okay.
No. Your lady's made of she is someone of significance?
I would know, but I don't think so.
Yeah, she's just some maid.
She's just a maid. She's been with Mother for about 20 years.
Does she have any... I imagine a lady's maid has access to everything in the house.
I nod. I'll tell her already the questions that I've kind of asked her, and I've mine read. I'll tell her the spells that I used and let her know all that.
I don't know. I would start with the physical evidence. Search her possessions, see if there's anything suspicious among them.
I nod. Is there any
family or friends that could be asked about? Perhaps she has former... No, you've already asked if she would want anything wrong to happen to your people. Is it possible she's actually a highly powered sorcerer in disguise who's able to avoid your magics? Spells like Mind Read and Detect Lie are resistible with a strong enough will.
I would know it's probably not the case because I could feel her just kind of give it up.
And also, she's been with your family for 20 years, like
20
your entire
years,
childhood,
yeah.
right? That would have to be like a deep, long con.
We were nobodies. I don't think it's someone that Scoria's hadn't planted on us for 20 years, you know?
Well then, if you were, as you say, nobodies until 2 years ago, year and a half ago now, this event is probably within that last year and a half or 2 year period. Have there been any unsettling things happening with your mother? Anything unusual about her behavior ever?
I nod. After my father's death, she seemed to change. Actually, she 180'd. She went from being scared, in bed all day, depressed, to extremely happy, jovial, ready to take on the world. To be honest with you, I thought that it might be, as crazy as it sounds, like her mother was under the love potion, was lifted. And now she has something to really live for, but I don't know.
I would start with any sort of strange behavior and how your lady's maid might be able to influence that. What about, there have been at least one assassination attempt on the lot of you. Is it possible that she has some enchanted object on her? Or in her possession, without her knowing it?
Interesting.
Has she been a pawn in someone else's plan? The enemy is crafty and cunning. I doubt Valfara herself would mention anything to you that wasn't of the utmost importance.
I agree. Can you tell me about love potions? Are they something that need to be given often? Like re-upped on, like a booster shot?
No. Once given, it will suffice for as long as either party remains, but they are essentially cursed objects. The love produced by them is unnatural. It's more of an obsession than love, to be honest. It creates weird behavioral patterns.
None. All right. Well, you've given me a lot to think about. I appreciate it. You sure there's nothing? No event that you have a curiosity about? It's ready to go, and I'm not going to use it today. Trying to get the Discorder's lore.
She thinks long and hard. And then there's a slow bob of her head. And she comes and whispers into your ear the name of a person and a time and place. The name is Arnold. The time and place is a small temple in Grumpburn about 20 years ago on the 7th of August. That would have been 1491. No, 1490? Grumpburn in this temple, Arnold, 1490.
Do you want to see it? I can have servants bring up a basin of holy water and we can just do it right now.
Yes.
All right. We'll have that done and I'll time pull that for her.
It is a church wedding that you time pool yourself into. There's a gentleman standing at the head of the pews before all the steps on a red carpet next to an altar with a cleric of Nerul.
Is that the goddess of love?
Family.
Family.
Family, the home, the hearth. And there's people sitting and waiting and watching. And it goes on for an uncomfortable amount of time until a lady's maid scurries along the side of the church, taps the gentleman on the shoulder, whispers something into his ear, and then retreats. And you can see the look on his face is just crestfallen and broken. And he turns and says something to the priestess, who gives a long sigh and steps before the altar and says, I believe the wedding between Arnold and Lady Sambar will not be going forward today. And there comes up from the crowd a large groan and some shocked gasps. And the man lowers his head, sort of unwillfully, can't help but lower it. Wipes away some tears and tries to leave, but is quickly surrounded by friends and family who are attempting to comfort him. The scene plays out for a little while longer before the gentleman is able to finally leave the building, which ends the
I think it can go on for an hour, so whenever she's, done, if she wants to watch the hour of the church just empty, that's fine.
Yeah, she'll watch for the 20 minutes that it takes for him to leave. And if you glance up at her, you can see she herself is a little misty-eyed over this problem, over this situation, and looks like she's filled with regret. And
Anton, with his 18 wisdom, okay, he's gonna give her some sage advice. So go ahead, Koibu.
You want me to give her advice as if I'm Anton?
Yeah, as if you're 18 wisdom. Okay.
I can't play Anton. You have to play
All right, Anton would probably give her some 18 advice on, how, just because she made the decision then, as a young lady, she can probably still find love and her job, something like that. And he'll head out.
Okay, you go.
Okay. When I get back to the house, I'm gonna go through all the ladies' stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a little bit of weird stuff here, some trinkets over there, a surprising amount of wealth. She must have been saving most of her money and not spending it. She's got, maybe like 600 gold saved up in various coinages, but it looks like she converts to gold wherever possible, which is, a lot of money for a servant to have on hand, but she's been here a long time. And
all of her stuff, I note where it was. I note her room.
Mm-hmm.
I have to nap myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up, learn spells again, and then I'm going to cast Detect Magic on all of her stuff.
None of it is magical.
Cool. I'm going to go to her room, anywhere that she frequents, and I'm going to cast True Seeing, and I'm going to look for something hidden.
Yeah, you scour her room. You look all over the place. You don't find any hidden doors, trapped boxes, false bottoms. That's not true. You do find one false bottom in a drawer where there's a little bit more cash stored away.
Cool. I have 9 rounds of this, so I'm going to go into every servant's room and do like a quick once over, and I'm going to make sure that I hit the cellar as well.
Right. So you can find some of the servants do have like little hidden stashes of this, that, or another thing. Nothing important, a little money here, some booze over there, a nice piece of jewelry over here that definitely looks like it's outside of the servant's price range, but you don't have time to deal with that servant right now. You head down to the cellar. There's nothing in the cellar that's hidden anywhere. It's all out in the open. No trapdoors. Everything is as it should be. Interesting.
So the advice that Arc Sombra gave me was to look into her belongings, her friends, and then there was like one more. Do you remember?
Friends, belonging. I think it was friends and family.
Friends and family.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something. Our father died. It's not that with our mom. I'm going to check my mom's room as well. Is there anything weird in the bedroom?
Nope, nothing that you would be able to see with this spell. I think 9 rounds is probably going to be...
Yeah, no, I don't think that the mom's bedroom would even be included in True Seeing.
Yeah. The mom's room seems fine, but she is there, and she's looking around and goes, "Have you seen, I've already forgotten her name.
Leonora, yeah.
Leonora? She had supposedly went out to get some thread yesterday and hasn't been back since. I'm worried about her."
I worry about her too. I say, jestfully. She's on her way to Nome. I spotted some interesting contraptions and rugs there, and I really wanted to have them checked out and brought over. But she's gonna have to do a lot of rhyming.
You sent her to Nome?
Well, why not? She was the first one I saw in the house walking around. I needed my stuff brought over.
Anton, that is my lady's maid who serves me. If you want to send someone to Nome, send the carriage driver. We rarely use him. Send a servant. Don't send one of our household staff. Send an importer. Why would you send... Oh my god. Thread? Anton Thread? This seems...
I throw my hands up. She was the first one I saw. I just wanted it done.
She makes a charisma check to stare in your eyes. Make me an opposed charisma check to try and to see if her son is lying to her. Like all mothers
can I argue wisdom
doing.
willpower instead of charisma willpower?
No, I think lying is a
Okay,
charisma.
23.
Yeah, she rolls a natural 20 on her charisma check. She looks at you and goes, Anton, what is really going on here? There's no way you would ever send my lady's maid to Nome. It's a ridiculous notion.
Anton does a big sigh. All right. I communed with Velthara. I know. Awesome. Very good moment. Got to
Sure,
talk to
you
my
do that all the
goddess.
time. I understand.
That's not... I actually heard her speak, but, you wouldn't understand. Moms never understand. Anyways, she gave me Leonora's name specifically as something I should time pool. And I'm currently questioning her on that. Do you have any ideas?
Velthara has asked you to look into my lady's maid.
I nod.
Are you sure you didn't hear the name wrong? There's a Leonara who lives next door. Maybe that's what Velthara was talking about.
I shake my head. I'm absolutely certain.
Well then... She looks at you, and she can see that this is definitely not a lie. And her face grows dark and clouded. You saying that Leonara, who has been with me for over 20 years now, might have betrayed us? Might have betrayed me?
I don't think that is the case. As I've talked to her, she's been very forthcoming. Everything seems fine. I'm not too sure what's going on right now. I might have her brought to Arksamba and have her figured out completely. It would just be odd if I just cast a spell on my mom, right? It'd just be weird.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna wait for her to speak.
She considers this for a long moment, says, but you haven't found that she's done anything wrong, have you?
No. Did she ever go missing prior to this? Anything odd happened in the last year and a half? 2 years? Can you think of anything?
As far as I know, she hasn't been away from the house for more than a few hours at a time as I send her out to run errands. She's taken a couple of vacations to meet her family, who live in Berkshire, but those aren't unusual. She changed the style. She recommended a new hairstyle for me, and a new tea in the house, and some good gossip about the neighbors.
I nod. I'll figure it out. It's fine.
Should I... Where is she if she's not off on Nome?
She's with Bartico. I don't know what's going on with the assassinations and whatnot. Obviously something's up. I'm gonna cast. I'm telling her that I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Sacred Guardian on you, and basically, when I'm gone, it will tell me if you're in danger, and then we'll come immediately to you. Okay?
She agrees to it.
I cast Detect Charm on her.
On your mother? She is not charmed.
Interesting.
Nice. Saying you're casting one thing when you're actually casting another.
It's genius. She doesn't know when a spell is going to be up. She doesn't know how long a casting time is for a spell.
Absolutely.
So Anton's going to notice that. Well, he knows that. He's just going to throw up a... he's going to throw up a Detect Lie, I guess, as well. So you really don't know anything that could be up with Leonora. You haven't sent her on anything?
I've sent her on all sorts of tasks every day.
He notices that she's dodging the question. you don't have any idea why Velthara could be wanting to speak with her.
Absolutely
or me to time pull
none.
her.
No, but I am very curious to find out. There
Is that
are
the
many
truth?
threats against our family. Yes, those are true. Foreign and domestic. Leonora has become a domestic threat, then she does need to be dealt with. But that would be 2 of my maids I've had to dismiss in a month over threats. Seems...
I think she gets a saving throw on the detect lie. She lets it happen, right? Because I told her I was casting Sacred Guardian.
I rolled a save.
Oh, so she tried to save against it.
I roll dice.
Okay.
They happen.
I'm just curious. Yeah. I wouldn't know if she's trying to save against it.
No.
Okay. I'll ask, are you my mother?
Anton, the 6 days I was in labor with you were the hardest days of my entire life. Why couldn't you have been like your brother Imric? He popped out without me barely noticing. That would have been much better. Yes, those are the truths.
Okay. So my mother hasn't been replaced with some lady.
Correct.
Why did you cheer up all of a sudden after Dad died? Do you know?
She
You
sits
changed
down
completely.
in her bed and looks at you. Relationship between your father and I started off as one of fairy tales and of 2 lovers who could never be, who found a way to be. But I hate to tell you, Anton, that the fairy tales end at the highest point of the story, and oftentimes they can dwindle. We'd grown distant. Marriage had become a struggle for both of us to maintain. His death gave me a new lease on life. I felt unbound and unburdened by my former decisions, some of which I wouldn't ever want to say I regret, but may have been hasty.
I nod. Love isn't easy. Do you think,
My son Anton, as the great poets have said, love is a battlefield.
I think I've heard that, scholar. I have another difficult question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, talking about love, you know, we have love for your aunt has love for us, and love is a battlefield. Do you think your sister would ever fear me and my brothers enough to have us executed? Do you think that's a possibility after we defeat Scoria?
Regardless of how she feels, I don't know how she could. The 3 of you are capable of defeating Scoria. I doubt that any number of her forces could bring you down.
Not lying?
Not lying. Mother has the utmost faith and confidence in you.
But do you think that she has it in her to try? He says, like, sternly.
Valuria is a strong-willed woman. She is far more suited to the throne than I ever was. She's able to make the hard decisions. If she thought you were a threat, I wouldn't put it past her. But I can't imagine her coming to that conclusion.
I agree. I will figure out the stuff with Leonora.
Okay. Should I continue to interact with her so that the Sacred Guardian spell can detect if I'm ever in danger?
The Sacred Guardian spell will work regardless of if you interact with her or not. I'm probably going to have her taken to the castle, and Arksambar's wizards are going to figure it out. I think this is above my detective work. Maybe I'll have Tyrael figured out as well.
Okay.
I nod. How is the wedding? Am I still on with the guy's daughter? Should I go see her?
he went down to Solwick some time ago. As far as I know, the wedding is still on. He has not written to say otherwise. Plans are underway.
Well, I think I have a few more days before we need to do anything. Where are they? They're in Cronwick, you said?
Solwick. To the
Solwick.
south.
I think I'll go see my future bride-to-be. Check in on what's to be there. I have a person in the temple there.
Okay. And I think with
Cock Nick.
I think with that, we should take our first break and come back on the other side with a little bit more Tombs of Scoria Anton solo session. So we'll see you guys soon.
Cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. Before you head out to Solwick, I go
back to the room.
One time pool you want to cast.
Yeah, I also go back to the room because I have to deal with the handmaiden. Say what's up to Bartico. Tell her I'm casting a spell. I cast Detect Magic on her.
She is lightly enchanted.
That's interesting. Well, now Anton's gonna find it. It lasts a turn. 10% chance per level to determine the sphere. I have 90% chance then.
Yeah, over here. Crit.
Oh, sorry.
It is enchantment.
And what would I know that to mean?
From the sphere of magic of enchantment. So, you know, a lot of things in that enchantment school of magic.
What would, can you give me an example of something from the enchantment school of magic?
Animal friendship, command, courage, friends. I'm just going through the list. Hypnotism, log of everburning, pass without trace, sacred guardian, silence, sleep, fight or climb.
Okay, I will cast. I'll say that's super interesting. I'll go nap myself. Need to nap anyways. Before I nap. Oh no, I need to nap because I need to get into the time pool. I nap myself. I'll come back in. I will cast remove curse on her.
Okay. Remove cursed has been cast upon her.
I cast Dispel Magic on her. The base chance of success dispelling is 11 or higher on a 1d20. If the caster is of higher level than the creator of the effect to be dispelled, the difference subtracted from the base. If the caster is of lower level, a difference is added to the base. Dice roll of 20 always succeeds. A die roll of 1 always fails.
Yeah. Chance to remove spells and spell-like effects, including device effects and innate abilities from creatures or objects. May disrupt the casting or use of these in an area. May destroy magical potion. So, remove spells and spell-like effects.
Sorry, before I did this, I would have had her strip. Sorry. I would have taken her. I'm trying to find what the item is. So I'm trying to see if it's on her or if it's like on her robe or like in her robe. So I would first off with the detect magic, literally key in on what it was.
Yes, it's definitely her.
Okay, I wouldn't need her to strip then. That's fine.
Yeah. This spell, if successful, will release charmed and similarly beguiled creatures. Spells or effects cannot be dispelled. They're listed in the spell descriptions. Let me just open the book. Spells cannot spell.
I might get to use the atonement spell.
No. Okay, I think you can cast this. So I need you to roll me a 1d20. High is good, low is bad.
12.
12. Base chance of success is
11.
11. So if you are one level lower than the caster of this thing, then you would succeed in dispelling it. And you are 9th level, is it?
I'm 9/9, so I don't know if you want to call that 10.
No.
But yeah,
I'm
I'm
9th
9/9.
level caster. Okay. You cast Dispel Magic upon her. I don't know if you can tell if it's dispelled or not, but I think your Detect Magic is also still going.
Let's see how long
Right,
it goes
'cause that's
for.
got a long duration.
A turn, so 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you can now gaze upon her and see that she is no longer enchanted.
Interesting, I say. Well, Leonora, it seems like you were enchanted this entire time. Do you recall anything now?
No. I don't feel different. Should I feel different? What was I enchanted with?
Would I know if I dispelled it? No.
Some sort of...
It's something the enchantment. Anton will smirk because he's a genius and he figured it out without his wizard brother. Bartico, as before, keep her in here, play cards. I'm gonna go time pool something. Anton leaves in a huff with his cloak flowing in his back. I will say to the pool, show me when Leonora was enchanted with the enchantment magic. So I'm slightly informed about this now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get another, was it 5 or 10%?
Which book was Time Pool in?
I'm not sure.
Pool. 2 words, not 1. It is Tome of Magic, page 96. So, start with 50, plus 15 for your high wisdom. Slightly informed is another 5, so you're at
I'm going to use Call Upon Faith as well.
Brings you to 85%.
Yep.
Right,
Do you want me to roll it or do you want to roll it?
Okay. Yes. What is it that you're using for Time Pool? Because you need a reflective thing. Like
I have like a nice basin in my room that I probably had dragged in here a long time ago in preparation for this spell.
Mm-hmm.
Anton's been ready for this.
The waters ripple before you and color begins to swirl within, eventually setting into a scene of a forested road, one which you recognize. It is the road north of Wicthron Rorenta to Fenden, not even that far from the city at all. You recognize some of the roadside inns and shops that are out here, and you see the handmaiden, the lady's maid, Leonora, going up to one of these shops and perusing their wares and having a chat with the lady behind the counter.
Eventually, do I recognize the lady?
No, it's just some sort of woman, doing stuff. The Leonora asks to buy some tea, there's a exchange that happens, but before it goes through, the woman offers to pour her a cup as a sample. Leonora will sip it, say she likes it, buy some tea, and then feels a little woozy and sits down, and then very kind of quickly passes out, at the bar, sort of snoozing on it a little bit. The woman will go out front and bring down a tarp over the front of the business to kind of close it for the day, and then drags Leonora into the back of the shop where she casts a spell directly on her that does involve a certain amount of gripping Leonora's head and sort of
Can I get the spell
massaging it
components?
slightly. Ooh, you would be able to see spell components.
I believe I can see and hear as if I was there.
There are only somatic and verbal components going on. Nothing material.
Do I recognize the verbal?
Do you have a spellcraft proficiency?
I don't think so, but if it's in my
No.
spell list, then maybe I should be able to recognize it because I would probably know it.
Yeah. You do not recognize this spell with or without the spellcraft proficiency.
That's fine. Okay, I'll keep watching.
A few minutes, some time passes. The spell seems to take casting time on this. No, it takes about 5 or 6 minutes altogether. And then the woman will drag Leonora back out towards the bar stools and set her this time gently on the ground.
How long did you say?
About 5-6 minutes. Something like that.
Okay.
Lay Leonora gently on the ground. Reopen the shop. And then sort of just kind of stand around and wait until Leonora begins to stir. Maybe. Actually, time pool only lasts about an hour. So I think Leonora would take more than an hour to come back to consciousness. And so you can watch her, Leonora's on the ground. The tarp is pulled down to block the shop. The shopkeeper is waiting and watching.
And I want to make clear that the shopkeeper is not the necromancer lady that I've seen in the past.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. This is a different woman. Let me get you some stats on this woman for you.
And I wouldn't be able to call Imric in the room.
Not in the middle of all this. He's probably outside doing something else at the moment. The woman is 5'4", so a little bit under average height, but just about. 103 pounds, so on the slender side of things. About 35 years old. Right-handed. She has sort of auburn-colored hair that is, tied back behind her somehow. Wears just regular shopkeeper's clothes, something a little bit light and loose. It appears to be a hot day. She drinks a lot of water.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Sambar then immediately, and I'm gonna see if she has any idea. I will explain. Anton wouldn't sit there for an hour, watching her. I guess for rouse, he'd probably think that she's out for longer. I'll just try to take a mental note of maybe what she said. The spell components, which were verbal and somatic, or verbal and
somatic.
Yeah, somatic. And then the 5 to 6 rounds of casting time, and I'm going to see if Arc Sambar can get it off that, and see if Sambar has any idea.
So once again,
enchantment magic.
Arc Sambar's busy. You can interrupt and be like, "Sorry, they told me you were free." To which she will be frustrated. Which servant told you that? No?
I think I would wait this time, actually. Well, how long did they say?
You can do this evening. Around sundown is when her last appointment ends.
That's so long.
We're busy.
Are there any other wizards available? Anyone not Sambar?
Sure, but are there any wizards you trust?
That's true. I asked for the person's name.
The wizard?
No. The
Oh.
person who is told me about Sambar, whatnot. Because I need a name to give her.
Right. So the person who, the guard on the door who's telling you that, you can't make an appointment, whatever, is the the vice chancellor. The vice chancellor is let's pull another one of the names off of the suggested list. Is a gentleman named Dale.
I give Dale a pat on the shoulder. Sorry about this.
Excuse me, Lord?
And I go past him and go to Sambar's quarters.
Yep, she's busy. You can hear some sort of chatting ring within.
Sambar is of the utmost importance, so I wouldn't bother you twice. But I've determined the school of magic, and I think you might be able to help me find which spell it exactly was. Shouldn't take more than 3 minutes of your time.
She comes to the door with a frustrated scowl. Who let you in here? I told them I was not to be disturbed for the whole of the day, not until sundown. I have dark magics to be preparing.
Dave, I think.
Dave? Oh, Dave?
Dale. I don't
Dale?
know.
The vice chancellor?
I don't know. He let me by. But anyways, enough about
Scowls.
him. Go easy on the man. I was able to time pull it, and it seems in Fenden there was a small shop with a lady, and she drugged her, took her in the back of the room, and cast enchantment magic on her. It lasted about 5 to 6 minutes with only verbal and somatic components. Do you have any idea what this could be?
She asks for a more complete description, which you can give her. You can recount the details. I will give her a spellcraft check at disadvantage. Roll the same thing twice. And let me take a look at the spellcraft proficiency, see what it keys off of. I bet it's intelligence, though. Arc Song.
She's a genius.
Pretty bright, all right. Spellcraft is int -2. So she does have at least 16 intelligence, so she succeeds.
Nice.
She will tell you it is a modify memory spell, most likely, or something in that memory zone. The rubbing on the temples, the long incantation time. It's either a complicated read memory spell or a modify memory spell or some sort of thought-altering process.
Eureka. I give her a hug.
She seems shocked that you would embrace her such.
You're a genius, Arxambar, and you've saved the day. I storm out. Not to waste your time. Because I think when I wake up in the morning, he should be able to cast Time Pool, show me the event that the person modified.
You can give it a shot, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right.
He learns Time Pool, nap.
What do you do with the servant during all this time? Where's she?
Bartico's keeping her.
Bartico's just watching this woman for like 2 days straight. Locked in his
They're
room.
allowed now to walk around the house. He can be less, on her. But like if she's in a room, he can be in the corner chilling out. I'm gonna let her go about her duties though, because I actually don't think she did anything wrong.
Right. Okay. So she can go about her duties. He's just gonna keep an eye on her.
Yeah, and I am gonna give him off of my character sheet, not the party sheet. I give him 50 plat for this. He's done a good
Another
job.
50 plat. Okay.
Yeah. I want him to be happy, okay?
No, he is extremely thrilled. This is 200 gold that he's earned in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Remember, chat, I was the one who conned the gnomes out of the gnomish economy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
It's true. You made a lot of money for the family.
We're fucking rich.
Oh. All right. Time to go do this next bit.
Yeah, he wakes up in the morning, And he's going to time pool. Show me the. Well, he would think, would it work? Pretty confident it would, right?
What is that you wanted to say?
I think he wants to say, show me the event that caused the Enchantress to modify Leonora's memory.
Wouldn't that just give you the exact same event? Wouldn't that just be the casting of the spell?
Show me the event that caused her to modify. No, I think that I'm saying, show me like what event Leonora went through that needed modified. Or I'll just say, show me the event that Leonora went through to cause a modification. Or right? I'm assuming that something else was.
The modification is the spell, so the event that caused the modification would be the casting of the spell.
Oh, well, is there a way that I could word this? Do you think?
I'm not really sure what you're getting at.
So what I'm assuming has happened here is she saw something that she shouldn't have, and then her mind was modified. Or they modified something into her mind that she shouldn't have known.
Right, it's either an addition, a subtraction, or an alteration of an event. So
yeah. Show me the event that Leonora was made to forget.
Okay, and Time Pool has a something chance of success. So
yeah, it'd be 85, I think, again, because I'm slightly informed about it. I know that something was modified. I'm casting a blessed or call upon faith.
The waters ripple as the spell is cast, and they remain naught but dark.
Do I feel like it failed? Or do I feel like there is nothing?
There is nothing. You get back no event.
Well, Anton, gears up. We're going to Fenden real quick.
Sure. You know the shop is just a few miles north of, not even a mile north of Wicthron Renta on the road to Fenden. So you can gear yourself up, head out of town.
Yeah, let me make sure my spell list is actually crafted correctly.
Yes. We're also at the break point, so why don't we take a break?
Sure.
While we're on the break, you can make your spell list. When we come back, you can head out on the road. We'll see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria.
Anton casts Nap on himself to get his spells ready to go fight whoever the fuck this is. He wakes up, memorizes all his spells, probably takes him a little bit, and then he's going to cast Consequence. And with Consequence... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We've been playing pretty fast and loose with some of these things. Nap seems fine. Who is it that you're bringing with you? And you're going to memorize your spells. You'd mentioned your Acolyte, who you wanted to bring.
Yeah, he wants to bring his cleric, who actually stays in the house. This is not someone who goes to the temples, and he's also going to bring Bardico.
Okay. House cleric and Bardico.
Yeah.
And the nap is fine. The nap can be done at any point in time. Never mind. All right, you've got your spells then?
Yep.
Okay, and before you go, you cast Consequence.
Correct. And I ask, how does the modification of Leonora's memory fit into the grand scheme of things?
The modification of Leonora's memory. Scheme of... A choice opportunity fell into the enemy's lap.
Interesting. All right. Off we go to Fenden.
Yeah. You know the spot. You've walked this road many times in your life. You've ridden in a carriage along this road many times in your life. And this section of winding road north of the capital, right alongside the river, you're familiar with. maybe a mile from town at most. And you come along the section of town, and sure enough, there's a shop. Very much like it was in the time pool, only now it is winter. Or, yeah, we've just passed winter solstice, so now it is winter and not summer. So the woman behind the stall is all bundled up and cozy.
Do I notice it's her? The same woman?
Same woman as before, absolutely. She's sitting behind a little counter there. She's like an herbalist or an apothecary.
I will be omega bundled up in my cloak, kind of hiding everything, especially Anton's face.
Can't hide the spear, though.
I can have a spear on my back, but I can hide one of them inside my amulet.
Hide a spear in the amulet. You can't carry a spear on the back, but you can walk with it in your hand.
I'll walk
or at
with
your
it.
Side. Yeah. Excellent.
Cool.
The woman is calling out to passers-by. Apothecary, herbalist, come get your healing herbs, painkillers, sleepy time teas.
I whisper to them, this is the lady. I kind of explained to them what we were going to do. We're coming here to ask her questions, not to kill her. And when I say go, you need to apprehend her and make sure that she can't do anything. I asked my cleric, do you have hold person available? If she's third
let's
level,
talk about your cleric for just a moment. This is one of the people that you grabbed from the Red Coast.
That's right. She was the one who healed me from the Red Coast. She was like the only actual cleric who kind of was doing stuff.
Okay.
I want to say her name is... Hold on, let me see if I got her name somewhere. I don't have her name. I think it was Strawberry for some reason.
That sounds like a name I would give.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Strawberry.
Okay. Would you roll me a D2000?
High or low? What do I want?
High. No,
That's not
okay.
good.
She is still only second level.
That's
Does
fine.
not have hold person.
Oh, that's not fine.
Nope.
What happens if you get 2,000?
This was the amount of experience above
Oh, got it.
that she needed. So she needed 1,500 to reach third level.
She's working on it.
Yeah.
I nod. It's fine. It's all right. Do you have Entangle ready? What do you got?
Great question. Second level cleric of Ilthara.
I just don't know what she's, walking around with.
Mm-hmm. She walks around with 1 Cure Light Wounds, and I think the other one is going to be a command.
That's
I
fine.
think for the House Cleric, Cure Light Wounds and command. Yeah.
No, that's good. I like that. All right. Well, 30 yards is pretty far away still.
Yeah,
So
it's 90 feet.
I tell her
Pretty good
when
range.
we reach 30 yards that she needs to do a command of halt, and I'm going to hold person her. And Bartico, if she attempts to flee, you are going to hamstring her and make sure that she cannot get away from me.
I could do that.
Cool. A lot of people are saying that she's 4th level. Doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out later. Command is more than enough. Okay. Well, in 30 yards, we...
4th level.
That's what we were saying. I don't know why.
I don't think those people know anything that they're talking about.
They might not.
I think those people are crazy.
We'll figure it out later. It's fine.
Koibu Discord full of crazy people over there.
I cast Hold Person on a single target, specifically, so she has a -2 to her save, I think.
So let's talk for just a moment here, because it's
Yeah.
not just this shop and nobody else on the road, right? There's a whole bunch of
I
other,
don't
like,
care if
little...
there's people.
Okay, cool, because there's people
Yeah,
about, like, there's
Anton
other
gives
little
0
shops.
fucks. Yeah.
You know, there's someone perusing her wares even. There's, like, people going back and forth on the road. There's folks washing clothes down on the other side of the river, on the other side of the road by the river.
Yeah, we're good.
Great. Just so you know,
If she's held person, Anton will definitely let him know. Official cleric of Velthara business. If you have no vengeance needed against you, you have no need to fear.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so the woman's just, calling out this, that, and the other thing. Trying to get people over to her shop to buy her wares and tending to the one customer she's got, but who's, perusing and sniffing at these like little tiny jars that have various tea types in them.
One thing, before this all went off, before we got there, I cast negative flame protection on myself. Just want that to be known.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a cool day out here on the road. A very, very gentle rain falls. People hurry to and fro, still going about the business of buying things. Little rain won't stop the economy. You guys come within 30 yards of the woman, who still calls out to passersby. Wagon rolls by you.
I cast hold person, she casts command, and Bartico goes in for the grapple.
Okay. So just sort of the moment you see her, bum rush of all the spells. So we'll start with the saving throw versus spell for command. I do believe that elicits a save.
No. The save is none, actually. But if she has a higher intelligence or higher six...
Oh,
higher
right.
Six
At least
hit
13
dice?
int or 6 hit die, then she gets the saving throw. Yes, so she gets a save. She fails the halt save. You cast hold person.
-2.
Yes, it's probably a fail. It's 9 on the die. -2 becomes a 7. That is a fail. She is halted, she is held, and Bartico runs forward towards the held woman, leaps over the counter with a flying tackle, body checks her to the ground, and immediately everyone stops and, stares openly at what's happening.
I throw open
here.
my robe, pull down the hood, and I will scream out, Velthara's chosen's business. If you have if no one seeks vengeance against you, you have nothing to worry about. If anything, it should dissuade your fears that I'm here.
People back up, give you plenty of room, and set in to Oogle and Rubberneck at what the hell is going on over here. It's Anton McGarry, Dragon Slayer of Wicthron Marenta, casting spells at a roadside shop in the name of Velthara? What could this be? Oh my god, I can't believe I get to be witness to this event.
It's fucking awesome. I go up to her. I will bind her. I'll check her person first. She is held, so...
She's held.
I have 18 minutes of her being able to do nothing.
Yeah. Well, as an apothecary, she has tons of stuff at her waist. Many of them are spell components. Some of them are just ordinary little bits and pieces at her waist.
I remove everything. Like, literally, I'm gonna kind of just drag her naked back into town, like, through the streets.
All right, so you
Sadly,
strip her of her
go.
gear, strip her of her clothes, bind her wrists behind her back or something, and then wait for the hold to wear off and walk her back into town?
Before I do that, I'm checking the whole apothecary. I'm checking the whole tent, Yeah,
it's filled with all sorts of sale goods, and there's a little bed back there where she can sleep.
I'm looking for notes.
Kitchen.
Is there anything hidden? I'm gonna have Bartico look as well. Like, we're gonna ransack this place. I don't care about the spell components. I'm looking for something that ties her to Scoria, Justine.
How long do you want to search? Because searching for 1 minute is very different than searching for 12 hours.
I don't know, an hour?
Okay, so you're going to search the shop until well after she's already unheld.
Yeah, but she's stripped of everything.
Right.
And gagged.
Yep. So you guys begin to search the shop, tearing it apart. By the time you're about halfway through your time, your half hour, some of the city watch will have arrived, alerted to something happening over here. They will show up and see that it's Anton McGarry who is ransacking this shop. And they will just hang out and watch. And they don't even stop you. They don't ask what's going on. They're not getting involved. But they sort of just keep an eye on what's happening here. You can have torn apart the shop by the time the hour is up. You will have found some small stashes of wealth that are definitely too good for someone who's just a little shopkeeper on the side of the road. Definitely too much money, but it all seems to be Drakisian coinage and cash. You don't find any notes that link her anywhere to anyone else. If it wasn't for the time pool, you would be certain it's just a random woman on the side of the road.
It's fine. She doesn't need notes. She probably burns them or something. I'll wrap her in a blanket, something, and we will escort her with all of her belongings. I don't have a detect magic ready, but I would assume if she has anything magical, I should be able to see that it's impeccable, and I'm going to be grabbing that. We'll take all of her coinage, and Bartico will hold, the cleric will hold all this stuff. Bartico will be ready for fight.
Nothing obviously magical on her. When you say all her stuff, I take it you just mean the stuff that she was wearing?
The stuff that she was wearing, or anything I found like super intriguing, but it didn't seem like I found anything intriguing besides the money.
There's just like lots of weird things. There's a jar of eyeballs, and there's a couple of dead dried lizards on little ropes, and herbs and spices and bark and leaves and all sorts of crap. But too much.
I will tell the town guard. I want this, and I'll point to the whole thing, the shop. I want this held locked down. I don't want anybody to go inside for at least 2 days. Can you handle that for me?
Yep.
Tell your boss it's under the direct order of Anton McGarry.
One of them will stay and watch while the other one relays that this is a thing that they have to do now. So one will stay, the other will go, and then the other will return shortly.
Before they both leave, I'll give them both 10 platinum.
Sweet.
So, taking that off my sheet. Okay. And it was only a mile away from town?
Not even, yeah. Real close to town.
Yep, okay. I bring her back, and we're gonna take her to the castle, I guess.
All right. You guys go to the castle. You make your way back through the gates of the city. There are some looks. If you were anyone but one of the McGarry brothers, you would have been stopped at the castle, because you can't just parade practically naked people through town tied up. But the McGarrys, no one's gonna bother at this point in time. You bring her down through the streets. You said to the castle itself?
Yeah. She's going to be expressly checked out by all of the wizards, Arc Sambar, and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You get to the castle. The guards insist on giving her one more search. You can just take off the blanket and show that she's got literally nothing for it. The search is over, and she can be marched in to the dungeons.
I want her in the deep dungeon where we killed Georg.
Yeah. She gets brought down into the deep, deep dungeons underground, where they play the deep house music.
I will ungag her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask, why did you modify my servant's memory? If you don't tell me, they're going to check your mind and find everything. It's probably best that you work with me rather than them.
She looks at you, eyes crystal and clear. Long live Scoria. May her reign last 1,000 more years. May your houses burn before her. I will tell you nothing, Anton McGarry.
I cast Cloak of Fear on myself. And I'll just go within the range of her.
I understand it. She empowers a single creature touched to radiate a personal aura of fear out to 3 feet. All who enter the area must roll saving throws for spell or flee in panic for 2d8 rounds. So saving throw versus spell, because she will resist, is an 8 against her save of 10. It's a failure. she tries to like backpedal, and there's nowhere to go but into the corner. The fear consumes her for 5 minutes of abject terror. She screams. She tries to claw at her bindings. She backs as far away from you as possible, shields her face against you, but cannot escape the magical aura of fear.
Yeah, that's kind of just to fuck her up mentally. So I'll ask again. We can do this all day. Why did you modify Leonora's memory?
She does not answer. She keeps her mouth shut tight.
I'll dictate her and ask the same question.
It is an improved version of the command affecting 6 creatures. All specified targets who fail their saving throws must obey the caster's instructions. For example, a priest could issue a dictate such as, stay here until I return, throw down your weapons, seize that elf. The subjects will continue to obey non-immediate orders for up to 1 round per experience.
I'll dictate, tell me anything I want to know.
She will pass this saving throw. Spits back at you. I'll tell you nothing, Anton McGarry.
Anton will crack a smile. Tell me everything I want to know in the morning. I'll call for like a wizard. I need any wizard to come.
Mm-hmm.
If Sambar is available, it'd be best. Let her know it's important.
It's been a little while. Anton dragging a naked woman down into the dungeons by surprise, without anyone knowing it, does attract a little bit of attention in the castle.
I don't doubt it.
You will find that the captain of the jail has already told people what's been going on, and Arc Somber, Clertis, the queen, and the queen's bodyguards will show up. Queen's bodyguards first.
The queen comes?
There is some interest in this, yes. Her Royal Highness, the Queen, happens to have a moment, and we'll check this out. But her bodyguards come down first to survey and secure the area, double-check the bindings on the prisoner, and then the Queen and Clertis and what's-her-face show up. Sambar.
Anton is changing a lot after his commune with Velthara. He actually doesn't really suspect the Queen anymore. He knows that they no longer need to steal the throne away. So Anton is going to do something he probably hasn't ever done. He's going to take a knee and like completely like submit himself to the Queen. Yeah.
She will tap you on the shoulder and tell you to rise, my nephew. Who is this woman who you have dragged into the dungeons upon your own? Thought the McGarry brothers acted as a party, not as individuals.
We usually do. However, this was a quest directly by Velthara. I've spoken with her over a great many things. And this, I point to her. I asked Velthara specifically, what's something you want me to know? And she told me about Leonora. And this lady is the one who's modified her memory. It seems like this is some wizard of Scoria. She speaks her name and said, Hail Scoria, even in this dungeon.
The woman blinks wide-eyed at the Queen. My lady, please! Anton's gone mad! I'm just a simple herbalist on the side of the road. Please! Queen...
If you need further proof, my queen, I could always time pull it and show you the exact memory.
No, my nephew, I believe your words over that of a spy, of a liar, of a... I'm sure we'll find out quite a bit more about her. Arc Somber tells me there have been issues with your mother's servants. Is this the follow-up on that?
I nod. Leonora, from what I've seen, is innocent. But I do need to know what memory was modified. And this lady has the answer.
She makes a gesture down the hallway, and someone who is lurking in the shadows behind her comes forward. It is... old woman. Very old. Maybe like 87, 90-something. And she bears with her just a simple box that she opens up. And inside are all these little clamps and vices and screws and small knives and small little delicate implements of torture. And she makes a motion towards the woman and says to her as the queen squats down, anyone that would deign to endanger my family, to alter the mind of the servants of my family, someone who will learn very quickly that it's not a task to be done. We will put the thumb screws to you, not because I think they will help understand what your purposes are. Arxomber and her company shall take care of that, but as a reminder, the crown of Drekis is not to be trifled with, that all those who oppose us will feel the pain of their actions. The queen gets up, looks at you, Anton, and gives you an auntly pat on your shoulder. Well done for finding a spy in our midst. I'm sure you will need interrogation. Arxomber and company will help you with whatever you need. When you are done with this creature, you keep her alive. I will have my own uses and punishments for spies.
I nod.
And then she leaves. The old woman carefully applies the thumb screws, little clamped vices with twists on top that just slowly push the thumbs, squishes the thumb together, drives an actual screw into it.
Anton will stay and watch the entire time.
Yeah, this is nothing but petty vengeance in the moment. Serves no purpose of interrogation. It's coupled with no questions. It is simply delivering pain to someone who has wronged the Queen's family. And you are free to continue with whatever you want, while the dungeons fill with the screams of the wounded.
Yeah, I think Anton is going to see if he can rustle up a random wizard to borrow who has detect magic or something for an hour.
Yeah. Such a wizard can be found. There are a few wizards kept in the castle aside from Arxomber. Low-level apprentices. I don't know what you would call them. They're not quite... they're not
like
quite
scribes,
contractors, but they're like low-level acolytes that help with a couple of things that are needed during the war. People who can perform small levels of magic. So one or two of those can be brought to you and can cast detect magic for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to take it back to the shop and we're going to find anything there.
The shop can be scoured. There's no magic laying within it.
It lasts for a while. I want to check around the shop as well. Maybe like a tree. I'm trying to find... I would assume that there's something hidden.
Yeah, and
but if it can't be found,
got a pretty good range, so you can scour the area, but you find no magic anywhere nearby.
That's it. Okay, I thank them.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them they did a good job. And Dragon Slayer, Anton McGarry, appreciates their help.
They are grateful to have helped you.
Cool. I go back to the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull up a chair, and Anton will just stay there for the night until she can be mind read and everything else. If not, I'll do it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, so here's an opportunity for you to either do the interrogation yourself or just to leave it up to other people. Because if you want to leave it up to other people, you can just leave it up to other people. And you can just get
If we leave it up to other people, I noticed that my cleric is kind of shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a local goblin population that needs dealt with?
There are some goblins that live in the south. If we take a look at the world map, down near Thickleglade, Down here, there are some goblins.
It's pretty far.
And this area has a bunch of goblins. You did come across a whole bunch of zombified goblins. I don't know if you remember this. Your character definitely would. Back when you guys were dealing with some stuff in Bondundasir and Pernissus, there was talk about, like, goblin war parties coming from the Lorwup River Wildwoods and attacking Thickleglade. So there has been, like, conscripts of Scoria, goblinoid conscripts of Scoria, in the Crawlog Ridge and area who have been warring from time to time. The initial force was dealt with some time ago already, but that doesn't mean there aren't still plenty of goblins and monsters out in that region who are, you know, enemies in waiting.
That's too far to go, though, right?
If you want to send your cleric off on their own, it's not. But if you wanted to go with them, that would be, you know, that could be a... you could get into a long adventure over there if you wanted.
I'll ask cleric, the cleric and Bartico. I'll ask Bartico if he thinks that he can handle that, or if he thinks that's too much. Go kill a few goblins.
You want me to show this cleric a thing or two about warfare and combat? Yeah, I can teach him a little bit. Been taking classes with Sir What's-His-Face. I'm sorry, I should probably speak more respectfully of my instructor, Lord What's-His-Face.
Take as many soldiers as you need in the house. Make this a training exercise. Okay with Lord What's-His-Face as well, I say.
He gives you a wild grin, and we'll take off with your cleric to go, you know, scour the goblin lands and teach the cleric a thing or two.
Cool. Level some people up.
What do you want to do about the interrogation? Are you leaving it to others? Did you already answer that? Did I forget?
Well, if we're going to leave it to others, then I'll need to find something else to do for an hour and a half, so probably just do it myself. If I can't do it, then I'll find the help of others.
Yeah.
It's probably best to just leave it to others, honestly, which I probably actually should do. They'll get the most info.
Yeah, and then we can just say, you know, when the rest of the party gets back together, here is the info from these people. We can just leave her in the dungeons for interrogation. The only reason to do it yourself would be so that the queen and her forces aren't privy to the information other than what you give them directly.
But the people who do it are probably people who should or already know about kind of what's going on, I would assume.
Yeah.
I don't think Sambar is going to fuck us on that, so.
Right. So unless you wanted to hide these answers you get from the queen, there's no reason to necessarily undertake it yourself. Or if you think that people might be incompetent.
Okay. Well, I guess Anton's going to find something else to do then,
yeah. So that woman will be interrogated for a little while. You can go back home. What are you going to tell? What are you going to tell the servant who unknowingly has been a subject or servant or aiding the enemy in some way, shape, or form? Do you tell her that her mind was altered and that she might have been helping the enemy? Do you tell your mother?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell the servant. I got a spell for this core that I never thought I'd use. 5th level spell. I'll use it tomorrow. Atonement. I'm gonna let her know kind of everything that happened. Maybe I can find out what exactly went on, maybe what was modified, what she's been doing in the morning, maybe the next day. If not, then we can do this probably later, but I would give her the whole spiel. She's been doing it unknowingly, so casting atonement on them will, you know, ease their burden. So yeah, that's the plan right now.
So atonement, it seems to just be a pure RP spell. The spell is used by the priest to remove the burden of an unwilling or unknown deeds from the person who is the subject of the atonement. The spell removes the effects of magical alignment changes as well. The person seeking the atonement spell must either be truly repentant or not have been in command of his own will when the acts were to be atoned for were committed. The DM will judge the spell in this regard, noting that any past instances of its use upon the person, deliberate misdeeds, and acts of knowing and willful nature cannot be atoned for with this spell. See the quest spell. Yeah. So when you
purely
tell her,
RP.
So tell me, how do you inform her that she has been.
I'll sit her down.
Acting. Mm-hmm.
I will pour her a drink. I will make sure that it's not fucking poisoned because Anton always checks if it's poisoned or not. I'll get the servant to come over, one of them, make him drink it. They seem fine.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Wait a few minutes. Pour a
Random
drink.
servant here. Before the other servant drinks this, have it. Yeah,
Before
okay,
I and the other servant drinks it.
Right.
Oh, they were fine. They got a nice ale, is what they got to experience.
That'd be great. I would love to be a taste tester. Here, drink this fantastic ale. This naturally prepared feast for this person. Have just a little bit of everything. Just make sure it's not poison. That sounds great.
Yeah. So this would be the next day. So I can have atonement. I sit her down. We do the drink thing. It seems, unknowing to you, that you have been working somehow, some way for Scoria. I know it's hard to believe, but your memory has been modified as such. I had seen it in a time pool, and I don't tell this to you to make you feel bad, but I think you need to understand the gravity of the situation.
I what now?
I'll explain it to you exactly what I saw in the time pool, the wizard that I dragged back and brought into the deepest dungeon. I'll ask her if she recalls the day that she went to get tea about a mile up.
I was getting tea there. Yeah, they have a special type of lichen tea.
I'll explain to her.
Was buying. Why was I buying that tea?
I pat her shoulder. It seems like you've been working against the family. However, it's not your fault. But I assume that you do feel some sort of guilt for betraying us.
What did I do?
The lady is being questioned in the dungeon as we speak. As soon as I have an answer, I will let you know. I hope it was nothing truly terrible. But I genuinely just don't know yet.
She downs her drink very quickly and with both hands grasps the cup in nervous waiting.
I grimace as she just downed really expensive alcohol.
Yeah, didn't even stop to enjoy it, just like...
No. The grub skill in Anton is grimacing.
Is this the moment where you kill me?
I smirk. No. No.
But I've been working against us. Us? Somehow?
I nod. Do you feel truly sorry for your deeds?
Absolutely. I would never. The lady has been so kind to me for so long, has been so good to my family, and I've been honored to be working beside the dragon slayers of Drekis.
Well, if you'd like, I can, my deity has granted me further knowledge into the magic arts, and I can take this weight off your shoulder, or you can choose to live with it. It's up to you entirely.
Feels wrong to not have to remember the bad things I've done, but I certainly don't want to live with it.
I nod. Then give me your hands.
He holds them out to you, nervously.
It's gonna take a long time. Pray to Velthara to save your soul. And I cast Atonement for 10 minutes.
She will join hands with you and pray to the goddess Velthara for forgiveness for the terrible things that she has done. She begs to not have to be the subject of your vengeance, for she did not know what she has done, still does not know what she has done, and pledges to dedicate her life to your family. Make up for whatever simple mistakes led her down the path of being an agent of groups of Scoria.
And atonement goes off. How do you feel?
A little better?
It's good.
Guess I won't really know until I know what I've done.
I nod. Well, let me see if I can go find that out. I'm curious to what they've done with the wizard. Needless to say, you do not tell anyone about this in the house. Any of your friends, this goes with you to the grave.
Of course, Lord Anton.
I smack the table and say, cheer up. Belthara shines upon you. For this day is given to you.
She reaches a shaky hand for the bottle veil, pulls herself another glass, and sips this one slowly while sitting in contemplation.
I cork the top and I put it away. She gets one more glass, no more. Can't be wasting this on peasants.
All right.
What
What about your mother? What are you going to tell her about all this?
I'll tell her after I know what happened, hopefully. I don't think telling her now would be anything crazy. Yeah, no, Anton just goes to the dungeon.
Okay.
I'm going to get some fear spells, you know? Just wanted to truly fear me.
Yeah. You head down into the dungeon. You can hear the cries and screams of anguish coming from down there. Clearly, someone is in some level of suffering.
I come down the stairs and I'll boast out, you should have spoken with me. None of this would have had to happen.
You find that old woman who has little thumb screws attached to each of her different fingers and is adjusting them, tightening this one, loosening that one, giving this one time to feel again so it can be reactivated for more pain. You can see small slits of bamboo stuck underneath fingernails. There are chains wrapped tightly around the woman, binding her to walls. She lacks any semblance of clothing or comfort. I don't know, probably not frostbite levels yet, but she's clearly like freezing on the ground.
Do you remember the guy that Imric stole out of this fucking dungeon?
I do.
Is he still alive down here? Because I cast Velthara's Vengeance on him, so I'm kind of curious where he's at.
I don't remember how long ago that was. Do you?
I don't, but we might be able to find it on Regal Goblins, or the wiki.
Yeah. KDWiki.com, everyone.
Acadia Wiki. You should just be able to search, like.
That was before all the Georg stuff went down, right?
I think it was at like the same time. Before we killed it. Before we actually Wraith killed him. Yeah.
Right. So I think Belthara's vengeance has enacted itself upon this person already. I think this person has already died in their cell.
I'll see an empty cell where he used to be. Smile a little bit, knowing that I've finally freed my brother of his stupid mistake. And we don't have to worry about that. And I'll call out to the lady, are you ready to talk?
Yes, I'll tell you everything. Just make it stop. Make it stop.
Okay. I asked the lady if she'd stop for a little bit.
Yeah, the woman loosens the things just enough that, and then backs away a little bit, just a little bit.
I cast no alignment. I make sure that she knows, like, if she actually is willing to talk to me, that she can't be resisting my spells.
Level to display an alignment.
Good to know. I will cast Detect Lie.
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. Why did you wipe or modify my servant's memory?
She tries to speak, but her voice is weak. She's been great suffering for a
I'll
full day
produce
now.
a little bit of food out of my cloak and some cider.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it in her mouth.
She will swallow the cider, nibble on the food a wee bit, and like whisper towards you again. Her voice is weak and soft. Hands are bound behind her back.
Why did you modify my handmaiden's memory?
She came across me. She came across me here in the shop. I asked her who she was, what she was buying for, and she said it's for Vala Wick. Knew who Vala was. Ones to push our raiders on the plane.
So what did you do?
Saw an opportunity to inroad somewhere that might be useful and took it.
And what inroads did you make? How did you take that opportunity? I can't actually hear that.
Yeah, her voice
cuts
is
off.
sort of failing her. You know, she's having a hard time speaking loudly enough for you to hear her at this range.
I'll wait a little bit. And I'll ask it again. See if you can pick it up.
I altered her memory to that one of her mother making her a special type of tea to help her sleep at night. The type of tea that doesn't really exist. One that
So what was the inroad made? Did she visit you often?
she's been coming by to buy tea. Tea. I can't make the air quotes, but
I understand.
and serving it to Vala Wick, Lady Wick.
And what did the tea do?
It's a mild hallucinogenic, and the dose is provided. Creates a sense of openness and warmth and trusting. Also, sort of distorts reality. Makes it hard to make good decisions. Makes you. Her voice is faint again. I'm assuming this whole time that you're at a pretty good range from her, and that you're not getting too close,
Yeah.
which is why
No, I'm
why
not.
it's hard to hearing her.
I will. I'll cast a Cure Moderate Wounds on her.
Okay. The thumbs heal up a little bit. The splinters in her fingers sort of slide out as the flesh heals over, popping them out of her body. How much did you heal? 9? Yeah, that should be enough to heal most of the damage she sustained here. At least the physical damage. She finds a little more strength in her voice.
I check on where Justine is at.
Justina is in the Voden Plain.
West or east?
East Voden Plain.
God damn it. Steven, fucking Nick are gonna be pissed. I
don't have to know.
Yeah, true. So you work along with Justina?
No. We serve Scoria, both of us, but we do not work in concert.
Well, then why were you giving her the tea? Was that not to further Justina's plot?
No.
What was your end goal with this? What information did you garner with the tea?
I never spoke to Valawick. I only put her in a position to be susceptible to other actions and relayed the information back to my commanders. What they may have done with it, I do not know.
And your commanders are? Yep.
Siobhan.
Do I know that name?
You might remember it. I think you heard it one time. Give me an int check.
I'm very intelligent. No, I have no idea.
You know. It might ring a bell, but you couldn't place it for the life of you.
I'll ask, is that one of Scoria's generals?
Mm-hmm.
And where are they stationed?
Wherever they need to be. No headquarters.
And how do you contact them?
She goes quiet again.
If you want to live, and I assume you don't want to die for Scoria, I can promise you that I will not kill you if you fully cooperate.
Oh, sir.
I'm not stupid, I say.
Her lips move, but you hear no sounds.
I'll pull up a chair. Anton's willing to wait while she recovers.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not gonna get close.
Yeah. She seems to be at her limit. She says nothing further. Her lips move a little, her jaw moves a little. And after maybe 10 minutes, the old woman steps forward again and just presents a couple more thumbtacks to you with her eyebrows raised.
I wave it off for now, and I will use memory read. I assume she's at her limit. Maybe a minus to her saving throw.
Rolls a natural 1.
Based. 1 round per level.
Yeah. 1 round per level. Okay.
So I'm kind of going to get, hopefully, how they contact, where anything that she's hidden is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spellbook.
Yeah. It is clear to you. No matter what bonuses she gets, she fails across the board. Just double check one of the aspects of the spell over here, but I think as she rolled a 1, you can get pretty much any information you want. Memory.
Based.
I think. Is memory read player's handbook spell? Is that a Tomes of Magic? Memory read. It is a tome. Memory read. Spell creates a mental drain on the priest, causing him to temporarily lose 1 to 3 points of calm. These can be regained only after 8 hours of rest. Spell cannot be cast again until the priest con is restored, so not a big deal. If the memory the priest wished to view is more than 6 months old, the subject receives a second saving throw with bonuses depending on the age of the memory. So you're just trying to remember the last time that she's contacted someone, which is less than 6 months out. So that is nice and fresh.
So, oh, I see the con stuff now. Okay.
Yeah. So it appears that she is visited every now and then by a traveler on the road who stops by to order a drink nice hot mug of tea, and in the process of ordering it, he says a code word to let her know that this is the person she's supposed to leave messages with, and will pass him a note, and then this person takes it somewhere.
What's the code word?
The code word is ultra black. It's when he comes to he orders a cup of ultra black tea, and that is the code word.
Can I get a good picture of his face?
Yeah, you can get a fairly good look at this guy's face. He's designed to be nondescript, hair worn in the most common of styles. Clothing is fairly common. He's not a particularly handsome or ugly person, just sort of an ordinary folk who might be walking along the road that you might not look at twice style fella.
Do I feel like this is the spell that Imric just learned? They have like a spell, I don't remember the name of it, but it makes up to so many people like just a nondescript person. They can walk around, or do I just feel like it's kind of...
there's no way to tell.
Cool.
It could be magic or it could be mundane.
Yeah, seeming. Where is her spellbook? I'll think to where she hid her spellbook.
Right. Her spellbook is stored I think it's just like underneath a carefully selected floorboard, and then dug into the ground, and then the floorboard is like re-nailed shut, so it's not like loose. You had to actually take some work to pry it open and then put it back into place.
Okay, I take a mental note of that. I am going to read her memory. This is going to be a longer one back, I think. What was she instructed to do when she is captured, if she's ever captured?
This is a memory read spell, right?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah. She has no memory of any such event.
Okay. Has she hidden any magical items nearby?
Nope.
Okay. So she works with that dude. We've had her spell book. I think I have like 3 rounds left. Who is there anybody else that she's worked with? I don't know. When I think of like a TV show or a movie where like a bunch of spies are going out to be set out into an area, usually they'll have all the spies together and they'll be like, hey, you all are going to go do this thing. I need you to do this. So I guess I'm going to try and pull a memory of her being given her orders of going here and see what order she was given. And I'm going to look in that memory and see if anybody else was there with her.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you go to read her memory about her being given her orders, and this is a strong memory in her mind. She is sitting inside a boiling hot cave. There is a plume or a small river of magma fairly far away from her that like illuminates the room, but also brings off this like unbearable heat. You can feel as if you were her, like your skin shriveling in the pain. And sitting before her is Scoria, the dragon herself. And next to Scoria,
in dragon form?
In dragon form. And next to Scoria is Siobhan, the half-elf, wearing red robes.
Magical?
No, just ordinary red robes, seemingly. Scoria is standing nearby, or I guess crouching, whatever, nearby, watching, but the conversation is between Siobhan and this woman.
Quick question. So it's a memory. Am I able to like pick up on small things? What I'm going to be looking for is if she like looks around. Do you remember the dragon amulet that was like on the one knight's wrist that we took, it had like an image of Scoria, or it was like a dragon. You know what I'm talking about?
The weird hand thing that had the different.
The weird
wings.
hand thing. Yeah. If she like ever looks down at her hand, does she have one on? And does anybody else in the room have that on?
Right. You won't see any of those anywhere around.
Okay.
And here, Siobhan is giving this woman orders.
Alone?
Orders, yeah.
Okay.
It's just her and Siobhan and Scoria in this room. And the orders are to set up shop just outside of the capital and use her spells to disrupt any enemy patterns, open up any possible lines of communication, find any weaknesses, exploit any people, create any opening or situation that might forward or advantage the ultimate goals of domination across Arcadia. It's a very, very open-ended, like, we trust you enough to sort of follow your own plan situation.
Cool. The next memory read is going to be, I want to try and read the memory of them entering, because there's probably a forbidden zone and there was probably a word said. I'm going to see if I can get the forbidden word into wherever they went. Does that make sense? So she's entering the lair. There is usually a forbidden zone within.
Yeah, but I think the forbidden spell only needs a keyword if you're entering magically, not if you just walk in.
Oh, is that true? I thought you needed it if you walk in as well, but I could be wrong.
Let me double check the spell. The spell seals an area from teleportation, plane shifting, and ethereal penetration, and then is locked with a password. Yeah, so
okay.
You will just have a memory of this. You can mind read or memory watch her walking into the mountain, walking in through a cave entrance that is guarded by giants and ogres and hobgoblins and goblins.
How many?
And a few humans. There's 2 giants. There's like a camp of maybe like 30 ogres nearby. You get a full head count. There's just like a quick passage of a lot of ogres. There's a bunch of hobgoblins and goblins around as well. There's a couple of humans standing about.
The humans have magical gear? Do they look immaculate?
Yeah, they look like they're probably magically equipped.
Okay.
And then into the lair.
Can I see the walkings into the lair? Can I see the route that they take or no?
You can. She comes in and just hugs the right, and there are some paths before her, and she just takes the right path and just keeps following the right side wall until she ends up in this chamber where there's some like magma on the far side, and Scoria is blocking most of the wall, most of the room with her just massive size. You can't even get a good look at the room size because Scoria is like right up in your grill and blocking everything.
And there's no like glint of gold or anything in the background.
No. This is definitely not like Scoria, the heart of Scoria's lair. This has got to be some sort of like antechamber where you meet people who aren't like cool enough to come deep into the lair. Yeah.
What is in Scoria's armor? Or what is it? What is in her hide? Can I see like immaculate diamonds? There
are like little bits of metal. Coins stuck in her scales on the underside, just a little bit. But otherwise, she doesn't seem to be adorned with anything. Or if she is adorned with it, she is, hiding it intentionally from this person's view. You know how red dragons can be paranoid. Yeah. She appears to just be a red dragon and a red dragon only.
Last memory, I think, that I can probably do this one. I want to see the moon when she got here. So I want to see her like, she probably got here, was setting up her shop. She probably looked up at some point at like the new moon. She probably won't remember this super well. But I want to kind of discern how long I think that she's been here.
What do you mean
that
here? Like,
sense.
Where's here?
In Fenden.
She has been set up outside the capital for.
I think I have a better way to do this, actually. Yeah, I was gonna say, I want to scry on her during the winter festival and see the last, like, what she saw then.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
been here for about a year. You know, I should say at least a year. It's gonna be difficult to get an exact date, um, but at least since last winter, she's been here, just outside the capital, chilling.
I tell the guard that I want a meeting with Arksombar, and I'll wait as long as she
Mhm.
needs.
Sure.
I want to
Arksomber
throw a
is
plan
already
at
done
her.
with her stuff for the evening. By the time that you get to her, it is just the two of you. She looks exhausted from a long day of whatever it is that archmages do with their free time.
I explain everything that I just found out to her.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably curious about it, and I tell her that I have an idea. How about we use a quest spell on her to set up a meeting with either Siobhan or the next best target. We could say that she knows something that's too important to put on paper. I'm sure you can come up with a better plan than I can off the cuff. But do you think that this is something that we should pursue?
Arksomber regards you with some weary eyes. I believe if a trap could be laid this way, but spies are, I'd say, uh, if our spies in Mystria, which there are, wrote to me and said I needed to go to Mystria, I would immediately expect a trap. I think
makes sense.
if you're going to try and create an opening here, it'll have to be somewhere they would trust to meet. Probably behind enemy lines, somewhere deep. It would have
Probably
to be,
fucked it up too, with how I went in and grabbed her. I would assume.
I don't know if they scry on her shop regularly. I doubt it. It's possible.
If I used a quest spell on her and said, I want you to run your shop as normal without hampering with the McGarrys until I come and see you, do you think something like that would work?
I'm not familiar with the quest spell, but I imagine someone who's a powerful enough wizard of at least the fourth circle would find a way to disrupt or ruin a quest spell, even at the cost of their own life or sanity. Servants of the enemy,
Yeah.
this magnitude, I doubt are expecting to survive.
I know. Thank you so much.
No,
Leave
I
her in the
think you're
dungeon.
onto something, though. She could certainly be a useful asset. Just cannot think of anything at this moment.
I will ask my brothers and see what they think.
Hmm.
We garnered a lot of information. I'll explain to her Scoria's lair, the guards. Did I see any forces on the inside as we're like walking through the cave? No, she just hugged the right wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain to her how Scoria looked. Give her all the deets. And I'm going to tell her about the spellbook that I'm going to go get.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Done, and done.
Cool. I also tell her Ultra Black, the code word. Maybe that'll help her down the line. It's probably just a code word they use, but maybe not. Cool. And I will set off alone to go and check her shop and get the spellbook.
Yeah.
Are those guards still there? Thank God.
You told them to watch for 2 days, so they stuck around for 2 days.
Good fucking job.
Yeah.
Cool. I go in there. I rip the floorboard up.
Yep, you can rip up the floorboards. You can find the hidden spell book. You can snag it. You know Imric will definitely want eyes on it at some point.
That's right. Is there anything else in this hole?
No. There's some money in here. Maybe 200 gold total. Like in the shop.
How much did we find her? Oh, just in the shop. Like 200 gold total?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to add that to the sheet. All Dracissian money?
Yes.
I'm going to go down there and memory reader again. Does it pass? Or
What
if
is the
she'll
memory
talk
for?
normally. Just a few more memories. I want to know like where she put her dragon amulet thing.
She did not have one.
She just didn't have one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a great stopping
Good
point
spot.
for
Cool.
our last break, and then we'll come back with a last segment on the other side. So see you
Good shit.
then. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria, Anton's solo session.
Maybe I'll just go pick a bar fight.
That always goes so well. Yeah.
Anton will go home to mom,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna go upstairs and call her over, call the handmaiden, and have a sit down convo with them.
Mm-hmm. Everyone takes a seat. The handmaiden, the lady's maid, is very nervous and uncomfortable, shifting, looking mostly at your mother, at Vala Wick, Lady Vala Wick. And your mother sits here and says, are you going to tell me what has happened here? She casts a look of suspicion at the lady's maid.
I nod. Well, it seems that keep in mind, unknown to her, I point to the handmaiden, she has been drugging you for about,
Excuse me.
what was it, 6 months? Maybe longer?
You've been
Now?
drugging me, she says, and looks directly at the lady's maid.
I'd calm mom down. Keep in mind, this was completely unknown to her. There was magics on her mind, and she just thought it was a normal tea.
The tea that your mother made you, that you've been serving me. And she shakes her head, going, my mother never taught me to make tea.
How long has she been serving that to you, mother?
About 6 months now. Sometime
Well,
last spring.
That tea is what has been making you a bit hallucinogenic and, I don't know, the word dotty. And more open.
Leonora, sometimes called Leo, just shrivels and begins to pour apology after apology towards your mother. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I would never intentionally be a servant of the enemy. How could I make this up to you? And your mother pats her on the shoulder and says, as Anton said, you did not know what you were doing. You cannot be held responsible for magical manipulations of your mind. Worry not about it now, child. Let us hear what he has to say.
She has been under the spell of at least I reckon a fourth circle wizard who worked and had seen Scoria directly. They have been dealt with. They are currently in the Queen's dungeon, and we are deciding what to do next with them. I'll point to the book on the table. The spell book here is going to go directly to Imric. It was the wizards. Well, I look at them both. Is there anything you need from me? Are you guys cool? You're not going to fire her, mother, right?
It would be wrong to fire this woman for something that is beyond her control.
I nod.
Leonora, fear not. You are in safe company as long as you are with us. I will never seek retribution for you for these actions, as long as you promise to continue to serve me as faithfully as you ever have. Leonora bobs her head many times in acknowledgement. And Balawick turns back to you. Well then. This issue is dealt with. We should dispose of that lichen-based tea, then?
Oh,
I think
nod.
there's still a stash of it in the kitchen somewhere.
I'll whisper to Leonora as, I guess mom goes to dispose the tea. You pray to Valthara now. She knows who you are. It's a big deal. Pat her on the back and I'll head out.
Mm-hmm. She will go, or you will go, and as you do, you can hear her shuffling down to her knees as she whispers Valthara's name loudly and begs for forgiveness, that no one need make retribution against her.
Yeah. Anton's gonna go do some, clerical duties. He's gonna go to the because I think probably tomorrow is when the brothers are gonna set out. He figures to the East Voden Plains to go and intercept Justina. So he goes to the town square. Gets up on, it's probably not like a pulpit. Is there anything he can stand on and garner the attention of the crowd?
Totally. First off, there is a set of gallows where they hang people. And then there is also like a pulpit for, crying out to the people in town square and gathering attention.
Oh, there it is. Is there anybody being hung today?
No, but there are still some bodies hung from 2 days ago from winter solstice. They are the bodies of 2 Mystrian spies who were caught within the city limits.
Unlucky. Anton's feeling good today, He solved a case. He's basically Sherlock Holmes. He figured out what Vilthar was trying to tell him, and he did it quickly. And now he's going to go and preach about her. So he'll get to the pulpit. He'll call everybody over. He'll wait for the crowd to gather. He'll sit there for like 30 minutes, kicking rocks and stuff. Maybe talking to like local people. He wants a big crowd for this. Anton McGarry, the Dragon Slayer, doesn't come out and do this often.
Yeah. That's not often that Anton McGarry speaks to a grand population and makes like a public announcement. In fact, I don't think the McGarry family has made any announcements in town square yet that I can think of.
I don't think so either.
You did one from the gnomes, but that's it.
Is there anybody out there handing out those white lilies?
White flowers?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes, you do see a pair of young ladies with a basket of flowers.
Is it the fucking ladies from before, Koibu? I've told you that I specifically remember their faces because in the future, we're going to go meet them.
Yes, one of them you recognize, the other is new.
Damn. That's fucking based. I'll call her over, the one I recognize. Oh, and she better come.
Does not make any movement towards you. She might
Anton sighs.
She might be whatever she is, but she ain't no idiot. She ain't walking up towards Anton McGarry in the middle of town square after handing him a flower and telling him that he was a coward. And now he's a dragon slayer? Oh, fuck no. She ain't getting anywhere near you.
Anton sighs, stands up, walks over as his boots of dragon scale clink on the ground. Grabs her by her wrist softly and will softly drag her over as long as she's not kicking and screaming, because if she is, then he's gonna have to drag her over.
You walk up to her and she gives you like a curtsy and a bow and says, Lord McGarry, I think I have not seen you since I handed you one of these.
I give
could
her a
not
smile.
have ever known what you were secretly working on behalf of the kingdom. I apologize for my actions before.
Come over with me. I want you here for my big speech.
I can see just fine from where I stand.
I'll whisper to her. It's not a request.
She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, whispers something in the ear of her friend, and walks with you.
I'll put her next to me on the pulpit, and I'll gather the crowd and get ready to speak. I will ask to the audience rhetorically, do you know why I bring this lady over here? And I remember her so? Well, I'll tell you. She is the one who tried to pin this, I'll pick it up, the flower, onto me and my other brother's chests. Myself, Imric McGarry, and Tyrrell McGarry. She's called us cowards, losers, frauds, And most of all, she called us sorry excuses for a noble house. Now, I'll kind of take back my cloak. Does this look like a failure of a family to you? Me and my two brothers have gone out and slain, I'll recount the dragons. 4 in the Red Coast, brown dragons. We've slain Azeron, and we've slain Abraxia, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
We have their heads, one stationed in Nome, in Birkin, if you'd so like to go see it.
Boo! Birkin, boo!
I'd chuckle. Yes, the gnomes were a terrible people. Oh, the horrors. Is Azeron's head still displayed somewhere in eyesight or no? Can you see it from here?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely.
I'll point to this. We have Azeron's head displayed right here in our hometown. And soon enough, we will have Scoria's head displayed in the upcoming McGarry Keep. The McGarry name is not one to be laughed at or trifled with anymore. We're the McGarrys, the only dragon slayers in Drekis. And Velthara guides us. So, I tell you this. Pray to Velthara if you have nothing to fear. If you fear Velthara, I and my new clerics inside every major temple in Drekis will be coming for you. My name is Anton McGarry, and I am a dragon slayer. And I'll take her basket and throw it of the flowers. And I'll step down.
Flutter in the air, scouring themselves across the sea of people before you. And with your descent, the crowd begins to chant, Velthara, Velthara, and with occasional screams of, get Scoria! Followed by, like, she killed my family! You know, various people come up to you as you walk away, each one telling you of how they know someone personally, intimately, who has been slain in this war because of Scoria. They tell someone comes to you and tells you that their mother was one of the dragoons, one of the horsemen who was burned by Scoria's fire. A peasant comes and tells you that their entire family was destroyed when Scoria set fire to Stoneport. Another
Anton
person...
will sit here and hear literally anybody who wants to come up to him and talk to him about this, like probably no other noble in the world would. He is trying to be a cleric for the common folk, and he's going to make a point to listen to everybody, tell him that he's going to get vengeance for them for the Scoria stuff.
You hear 100 tales of how people have suffered or died at the hands of Scoria. A man shows up who's like burned across his face, just like you, but is like missing his entire left arm because he caught the very edge of Scoria's dragon fire in Ralwick, where he was just, a regular citizen doing regular citizen stuff, weaving some cloth when she came and burned the city down. Another person tells you about their fiance who was on their way from Bontheris and ran into some of Scoria's advanced scouts who crucified them in the pass between Grumpburn and Bontheris. People who have sailor friends who are lost, missing, and presumed dead who never made it back from the shallow sea. Story after story of how the people of this city have been damned, been ruined, lost the things that matter to them due to this red dragon's wrath. And all of them ask you to get vengeance on their behalf.
Yeah, Anton promises to get vengeance on their behalf, and he will be the one to strike down Scoria. Him and his brothers, the McGarrys.
They cannot wait to see Scoria's head impaled upon a pike or any other shaft. Hunger for it. Anton, they want her blood.
Each person, I tell them to that they have to help me, and I need them every night to pray to Velthara for vengeance.
and they will pray.
There we go.
I was going to drag out this session a little bit longer, but I think this is the most appropriate ending note that we could possibly have found. So why don't we wrap it up here, and we will be back next week with a full cast for Tombs of Scoria as we continue our storyline. Anything you want to say before we go out?
MoutonMerch.com. Buy my merch. That's it. Anything you want to say, Koibu?
RegalGoblins.com. There's some merch there as well. Go buy that merch. Buy them all.
Buy all the merch.
Wear them all at the same time.
True.
Or in rotation, whatever you want. I'm sure.
Bundle up, wear multiple layers.
Winter's almost here. Christmas is in 4 months, guys. You're going to need something warm.
Wait, I want to show you something.
What do you got?
This is for my other campaign, but someone made me it's like a dice tower. And you put the dice in here and it'll go down.
Someone
and
made
roll
this?
it.
How the fuck?
Yeah, they like
this?
3D printed it and
holy shit, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah, super cool.
Oh my god.
I was very impressed. So
that's epic.
Very cool. And I don't know why I can't remember their name right now, but I love them very much. And they're in my chat and they're VIP'd now.
Awesome. We'll be back next week. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.